England are back at Wembley. This time a draw simply will not do. Scotland are in town. Only victory can save Terry Venables from another savaging by the press, the fans and the general public. Last time they met at Wembley, England edged it, thanks to one of the current squad's cast-offs. Do you remember the last Scotsman to score a winning goal in an England-Scotland match at the home of football? All will be revealed. The two greatest rivals in football have already met this week on the internet. We'll bring the result of the virtual England-Scotland match. Good afternoon to you all. It's the day every British football fan's been waiting for since England and Scotland were paired in the same Euro 96 group just before Christmas. And with both countries drawing their opening game, it's virtually winners take all at Wembley. Well, representing England here in the studio is Jack Charlton and Alex Ferguson, part of the Tartan Army that have come south. Alec, one or two Scots that I know are totally transformed on this day, but you're looking pretty friendly at the moment. Yeah,
come back in 4 hours' time.
He's trying to appear confident.
Oh, I've got my faith in him.
Is there a bit of a flicker there between the two of you there, Jack?
No, total enmity here. I don't like him and he doesn't like me for the next 3 hours or so.
OK.
Until after the game.
Right, thanks both. It's been a pretty tough week, though, for some of my media colleagues, especially those round the England camp. They've been called traitors. Some have even had their balls kicked in the river. Gary Newbond's been in the thick of it since the tournament began.
The opposition's been tough so far. England's preparations have been thorough, but were they really prepared for a battle of such gigantic proportions? Because at the end of week 1 of Euro 96, it's the squad behind me that are really dominating Group A. There they are, clear leaders, and it's hardly surprising after their performance in Monday's papers. The reaction of the English coach was hardly surprising either.
Well, nothing changes. I mean, I saw 3 or 4 articles today. I mean, I think they're vicious, vindictive and personal. And as soon as I get the same treatment, I understand his problem. We're all very strong together, and whoever we've got to fight in this situation, we will do.
At England's training headquarters, where 3 times a week during Euro 96 the Lions take on the Christians, the word vendetta is one often whispered. Some tabloid journalists reckon that the Daily Mirror in particular has been waging one against Venables for the past 2 years.
It's a vendetta, isn't it? And I think that that's wrong, because you start off at point 1 where you're behind the England coach, you're behind the England team, you're behind the players. Basically, all journalists are like fans. We want the team to do well, we want them to win. But as I've said, if things go wrong and the team doesn't play well, you say we lose at home to Scotland, the man walking home at night is not going to say, well, that was a great performance, and we reflect that. We'd have to be critical of them, but we don't want to be.
The Mirror's Harry Harris, naturally enough, rejects the vendetta theory. It's just a nasty rumour put about by fellow hacks.
The section of the media you might be talking about who don't like these investigative pieces I'm doing are the section we affectionately call as Team Tell. And you can easily see them drinking down at Scribes, glass of champagne in hand, sitting around the table with Terry and having a very good time. They're hardly likely then to be very critical of him either.
Venables may be at the sharp end, but his young England stars have had to take a fair amount of stick as well. Fair game maybe, but most of them cry foul.
I've had a particularly disturbing experience in the last week myself with the Daily Mirror, I'll name the paper, you know, going into our private lives, myself, my brother, my dad, my mum and my sister, and, you know, I think that's going beyond football, to be honest.
I've been telling the lads, Gary Nevilles, the Phil Nevilles of this world, you know, and educating them about the press, but at the end of the day, I don't want to particularly educate them about the press. I think it's my job to educate them about football, and the more I'm saying, you know, this is the way we've got, you know, this is the way I deal with the press, this is the way Gary Lineker's dealt with the press over the years, and look at his PR, and I'm saying this might be the way that you want to handle it.
We're human beings. We have a drink, just like you do, or like everyone else does. We work extremely hard during the week, and we spend our money on a few beers or a glass of wine, whatever, and there is no harm in that. But you've got to be sensible, because you are in the public eye for 365 days a year, which is important.
So, like those of us who read them, do the England team get the press they deserve? Are they right to be angry young men as a result?
We only write what we hear and see. We don't make it up. You don't have to make it up. We're behind England as much as anybody else, but you can't ignore facts, you can't ignore stories. You have to write things that are presented to you. If you don't, you're not doing your job.
One thing's certain, though some of the England team ran out of puff a week ago, the English press has boundless supplies of energy, and you can expect the story of Euro 96 to run and run and run.
Thank you, Gary. Tense times round the England camp then. Meantime, the Scots come to London after enjoying barbecues with the same media characters who many of the England players would like to skewer personally. And past Wembley triumphs are etched in their memories and more recently on their videos. Gabriel Clark reporting.
And Scots everywhere on this Wembley pitch.
The Lions rampant all around Wembley Stadium.
Congratulations to Scotland. Well played.
They've come, they've seen and they've conquered.
To the Scots, it's more than a game, it's an ancient rivalry passed down the generations. 1981 was the last time they triumphed at Wembley, when the privilege of scoring the ultimate goal belonged to John Robertson.
It was always an ambition of mine ever since I saw Jim Baxter in 1963 when England beat them 2-1 at Wembley, and I think I was only about 10 years old, and I just remember that performance. They were brilliant that day, Scotland. So it was something that, you know, I think every little boy sort of dreamed of in those days.
Archibald is through the middle, on the blind side of Robson, a chance for, that could be a penalty kick. The referee is giving a penalty kick to Scotland.
You have that initial joy of the penalty being given, and so I realised then I had to take it, and that's when I started panicking a little bit.
John Robertson against Joe Corrigan. 1-0 to Scotland. The coolest man in the field perhaps was John Robertson, as he put Scotland quite amazingly in front.
I'm sure there will be then memories this weekend. Your mind will be flashing back maybe when you're watching the game.
Yeah, it will be, and I just hope the lads go out there and sort you English lot out.
But what of the Scotland support? This weekend sees the renewal of the great pilgrimage south of the border. And in the front line will be Ronnie McDevitt, super fan. Scotland are his life's work. Since 1977, Ronnie has watched and filmed just about every game. Mexico or Malta, Ronnie's been there recording his video diary. It wouldn't be a Scotland game without him.
To tell the truth, it is actually a pain carrying a camera around with you all the time, because obviously you've got to be aware that you don't get drunk and leave it lying on a table or something like that. I mean, it is really a real pain carrying the thing about with you, but it's worth it in the end when you get back and see the results, like, you know. Travelled up to Seville to play Brazil. It was the first time I'd ever seen Scotland play Brazil. Brazilians and Scottish dancing together, and some of these Brazilian women supporters are really beautiful, you know. They take a lot of women following them, like, you know. We scored first, we were actually leading Brazil at one point, then we lost 4 goals. It was good, it was really great atmosphere. Where we actually played 2 of our matches, it was a shanty town on the outskirts of Mexico City. We were a little bit apprehensive with what kind of reception we're going to get here, you know. But as soon as we walked out, the locals actually lined all the streets, and I'm not exaggerating, and applauded us. And that kind of lifted our spirits. But it was a good trip. Italia 90, I stayed in Genoa for 3 weeks. Again, Genoa. You know, the people there, they loved us as well. And they haven't forgotten us. We're well remembered there, you know. I think they've actually opened a Scottish bar there now. It's hard to put my finger on it, say exactly what I get out of it, but it's just being there and turning up, meeting your mates and having a really good time. It's just like going to a week-long party, you know, it's really great.
Seen a few Ronnie McDevitts around London's West End this morning, I think. But, Jack, let's talk about the match from England's point of view. What do you feel are the key areas and the key personnel?
Key areas are across the midfield. I think it depends a lot on who he plays in midfield. I mean, we don't know the England team yet, but I don't think he'll make many changes. I think he'll leave it well alone because they've been practising on the way they should have played and not the way they did play. So I would think across midfield, particularly, England have got to win that today.
Alex, what about from Scotland's point of view?
Yeah, I think they'll try and make sure they keep good possession and hope that they get a good start to the game. Hope that England are nervous and they'll lose their patience because that's a key area, because you don't see a lot of goals in the Scotland side. So they have to find their optimism, their confidence from other areas. And I think possession of the ball, a determination to do really well in the game, should give them a chance.
Alex Ferguson, who's going to win this afternoon?
I think if England play really well, they'll win. But if they got off to a bad start and show nerves, I think Scotland will get a result, a draw.
Jack, how about you?
I think Andy Goram's going to be under great pressure this afternoon. And although he's a nice lad, Andy, I hope he has a nightmare. But I really do fancy England. I've even gone as far as to back them this morning to win 2-0.
We really, I suppose, turning our backs on the rest of Europe for this one, aren't we? And it's the latest instalment in what must be the longest row in football. It's a game all on its own in Euro 96. England against Scotland.
Right, we're going to start off with a goal in the first 5 minutes, right? And then finish off a goal in the last 5 minutes. Darren Jackson's going to come in the second half and score the last one with a sort of wee side footer.
Obviously, we're going to have a cracking start. But Manaman's going to just go past all the defences. He's going to pass it to Alan Shearer. He's going to head it in, and that's just the beginning.
Let's have a word with Ali McCoist, an exclusive chat. Ali, how are you feeling?
Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
Are you going to play?
Yes, on for the start.
It's made for Ali McCoist, isn't it?
Well, the script's written for me today, yes.
I think it's there in red and white on your face there. Who's going to be England's hero today?
Shearer. I think he's the one that's going to score the goal today. Hopefully it'll be about 3-1. Be a nice game then.
And at the other end?
Yeah, Neville, Gary Neville. Love him.
So welcome to Wembley for England against Scotland, the oldest international fixture of them all. First played way back in November 1872. That one finished 0-0. The hopes are that this one will have a few goals as well. As you'd expect from these very special occasions, an overwhelming atmosphere. But the Scots here in full strength and in very good voice. custom in this 1996 European Championships. A handshake between the teams as a prelude to the battles that will come ahead in the next 90 minutes. Well, the England team, Terry Venables has turned a deaf ear to all the advice. He selects the same 11, the one that played against Switzerland. The feeling is the formation will be different, though, with three central defenders, Gary Neville, Tony Adams and Stuart Pearce. Gareth Southgate planted just in front of them. Paul Ince and Paul Gascoigne in the midfield, with Steve McManaman and Darren Anderton on the flanks, and Alan Shearer and Teddy Sheringham in attack. Looks as though he's won the choice of ends. The Scots, so competitive against the Dutch up at Villa Park, will even more fired up for this one now. The manager, Craig Brown, has made changes, though. Tosh McKinley of Celtic comes into the left side of their defence. And Chelsea's John Spencer, who came on as a sub at half-time against Holland, starts today as Gordon Jury's partner up front. Eleven subs, or at least the remainder of the squads, rather, on the substitute bench. Three can play. And our referee today from Italy, Pierluigi Pareto, assisted by two Italian linesmen. First time this grand old fixture's been played since 1989, when it was stopped more or less for security reasons. And here's the referee. I hesitate to say that if the animal instincts of the players early on get a little too much for him, they've got exactly the right guy, because he's a vet back home in Italy. It'll be the Scots who kick off. And away we go. The Scots all in dark blue. And the first tackle goes in from Alan Shearer. The headlines, of course, call it a war. Well, it's not that by any means, but it is a very important game of football for both these nations. Always a very special place in Scottish hearts, and it quite simply is the most important match England have played here in 30 years. Gascoigne, player of the year in Scotland. Will the Scots be able to hold him now? Ince making a driving run, and there were few of those last week. McManaman, who started so brightly then, and they need for him to do so now. McCall got the tackle in. McKimmie for Scotland, and now Calderwood. Showing good composure in a very overheated situation here in every sense. Boyd. And a free kick there for England. Conceded by Collins. Gascoigne a long way out. Always was an optimist, but surely not from that range. Stuart Pearce has tried to steal a couple of yards. The referee's not having any of that. Well, it's got to be 40 yards almost. Would he be taking a shot, Ron Atkinson?
I think he or Gascoigne. Yeah, I certainly think he will. I think they'll try and test Andy Gorham early.
Well, it's Stuart Pearce, but he's driven it straight against a Scottish player there. Flicked on once more, up towards Sheringham. Good jump by Hendry, but not such a good one there in defence also. But Calderwood gets it away. Adams with the header. Comes for Shearer. Feeding McManaman. Knocked inside for Ince. Pearce. Hit long again towards Sheringham. We've got a header in well. Got there ahead of Tommy Boyd.
Yeah, I'm hoping with the shape of the side, Brian, that Sheringham plays up a lot more up front with Shearer. Hope they play as a two.
Neville not getting the better of Spencer there. Here's McCall, busy little player through the midfield. Jury, who's got a lot of pace about him. Cross McKinney coming in, going right to the other side. Darren Anderton just helping it on. McAllister's there though for Scotland. The cross coming in again, no. McAllister will hope to make it this time though. Collins trying to keep it going, instantly challenged by Ince, but there's an injury on the far side. And the referee being pointed out, having that pointed out to him by Sheringham. It's Gareth Southgate who's down, but fit enough to go on. And now a chance for the Scots. The free kick on England's goal. Collins, number 11.
I think McAllister will still try Bender. I think early days, I think he'll still try and whip one around the side of Seaman.
It's McAllister, and straight into David Seaman's midriff. Wall well lined up, goalkeeper well positioned, but also free kick well struck. Gascoigne. Spencer's after him, but he still gets it to Shearer, but Shearer's pass is a poor one. Hendry, his Blackburn Rovers teammate, that's going to be a real battle between those two today. Colin Hendry. Tommy Boyd up to Collins. Being hustled by Southgate. Oh, they get away down the line and get along the line well. Inside for Spencer again. England getting people back and will need to, and a good interception by Adams. Touched on there by Ince. Played for McManaman. Slipped inside again for Darren Anderton, who'd come out into a central position with Sheringham having gone out wide. McAllister. Tommy Boyd.
Signs are at the moment that Gareth Southgate's going to play as a basic midfield player. I mean, I thought he would play just in front of the three defenders, if you like, and slot in every time Adams came out the middle, just slot in alongside, a bit like the Dutch have been doing.
Calderwood. That's not a bad ball, but Pearce read it well, just prevented it going through for Dury. Calderwood, McCall, hot work out there. Good jump by Neville, touched on by Pearce, on to McManaman, on to Ince. And out of play from Pearce, a Scottish throw.
I must say, when I saw Terry's lineup, I thought that it was going to be like Ince and Southgate doing the anchor job and giving Gascoigne license to go where he likes. But at the moment, Gascoigne looks as if he's playing in a set position, balancing off the other two midfield players.
Calderwood planting it in towards Spencer. Important header there, one for England by Gary Neville, but there was a foul, a free kick to England. Gascoigne. Ince, Adams, Neville, Gascoigne, touch forward again, Shearer, Anderton, Southgate well forward there.
Yeah, looks as if he's playing in his old role that he occupied for so long at Crystal Palace, doesn't it?
Neville, Gascoigne. Hit long for Shearer to chase. Hendry's there with him. And Boyd as well, but they're really buzzing around there. And I think it was a foul by Shearer giving the free kick to Scotland.
He'll have had a shock there, Hendry, because all the talk was about Ian Hendry, swashbuckling, strong, dominant, how he kicks people in five-a-sides and all that. All of a sudden, Alan Shearer signalled his intent because he's strong when he gets under. When he gets down those channels, he'll stand his ground.
Boyd with the free kick for Scotland. Dury losing that aerial battle to Tony Adams. Here's McAllister. Dury's on the far side now, made a run towards the near post, playing it for McCall, quickening it up a little bit here, trying to get the ball played in, but picked out very comfortably indeed by Southgate, and now the run is on. The first real run that McManaman's had at the defence. He plays it inside for Gascoigne. Gascoigne well forward now. But trying a little too much.
I'd have liked to have seen McManaman be more selfish than Brian. He got Calderwood 1v1, lots of space either side of him, and I think it was a negative ball he knocked out to Gascoigne. That's the areas that I would sure Terry Venables would want him to go and attack the last man.
Ince, Southgate, McManaman. Pearce down the line for McManaman. Now perhaps he'll take on his man. Well, he's played a better ball now to Paul Ince. But Sheringham couldn't pick, rather Anderton couldn't pick it up, and it's a throw to England. Well, I can't see how McManaman thought that was a throw to England, but it goes for Calderwood and Scotland. Colin Hendry. Stuart Pearce for England. I think everybody anticipated about 150 miles an hour in the first 20 minutes or so, but it hasn't been that that sort of pace yet, has it?
I think the heat's got a big amount to do with that. I think players have come out, they've looked at the heat, and certainly I think from the English point of view, the last thing the English team want is a war. They want a committed game, yeah, sure, but they want to play with their heads as well.
McKinley to Tommy Boyd. McCall chasing that one. Seaman getting it away. Up to Gascoigne. Beautifully controlled and killed by him. Sheringham. This is looking better for England. In the end, Southgate could make no progress. Throw given England's way. The Scots will certainly want to play as well as they did, and with the fire and determination that they did against the Dutch. England will certainly want to play a lot better than they did against Switzerland. You get the feeling there, when you're looking for room for improvement, there's more going for England than maybe there is for Scotland. Pearce, playing it across the penalty area to Tony Adams, the England captain in the continued absence of David Platt. Gascoigne. Pearce picking up Sheringham. Sheringham in turn finding McManaman. Here's Shearer. Gascoigne. A turn that didn't exactly shake off McAllister. Did well there, the Scottish captain.
Now, what we don't want there, certainly with Paul Gascoigne, is that he and Gary, he doesn't get engaged in a bit of dueling banjos with McAllister.
McManaman over on that side now.
Yeah, I like him when he gets here. This is an area he runs well with the ball.
Anderton. Neville. Anderton. McManaman. Quick feet. But not quick enough to stop the Scottish challenge. And England get a free kick. Pearce has gone across there for it. And Adams has come up for it. He is. Now Stuart Pearce. Well, he's blasted them in from this range before now.
I think this will be aimed at the goalkeeper with a flood of white shirts trying to get in front of him.
In towards Teddy Sheringham, in fact. Goal kick.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get right round. He spun from a central position, Terry Sheringham there, and hasn't been able to get right round the ball.
John Collins down the line. Again, Neville got in. Tommy Boyd to Gary McAllister for Scotland, to Colin Hendry. Ball hit long towards Jury. Spencer picks it up. Strikes me as a tough, pugnacious little character, Spencer, but he's found McCall, who's another tough lad who runs well and does plenty of it. The cross coming in. Spencer was trying to end on the end of it. They get a goal kick. Spencer felt that had come off Adams.
Good build-up from the Scots there. Link it. There's a lot of space out on this left-hand side. This is a good little ball to the near post, and Spencer's working hard to get across Adams, and I think most referees may have given a corner there. I think the way England play as well, there'll be plenty of space for Scotland down that left-hand side. Either John Collins spinning out or McKinley pushing forward from there. Big responsibility on Anderton when Scotland are coming forward to act as, if you like, as a wing-back himself. Because Neville's being pulled well in field normally against little Spencer.
The inspiration of the Scottish defence there. Colin Hendry was fouled by Sheringham. He finds Spencer with the free kick, and now Stuart McCall to McAllister. Oh, it comes back to McAllister, to McCall rather. Spencer. See, it was an English boot that got that move going. McAllister now. McCall again. Good swift challenge again from Adams, who's looked rock sure again at the back so far. Here's Gascoigne. A little flick on for Anderton. No. McAllister. Scots are really warming to their task now, getting down to it well. Some quick tackling, some bright ideas coming forward. McAllister at the hub of a lot of it, and McCall. And the ball knocked into touch because there's a problem there for Gordon Jury. So your feelings at this stage, Ron?
Both sides feeling each other out. I'm more intrigued looking at the English tactical system. I just wonder how much work they've done on it. You're asking two lads, Neville and Pearce, who are orthodox fullbacks really, or spend most of their career playing that way, to come in and play in a system that is foreign to the way they play. I know the Scots are playing three at the back, but they're playing three lads that are basically central defenders that are occupying it.
jury up and about his business. The players taking a break there to get a drink of water, and the referee and linesman insisting that if they're going to have a drink, it's got to be on the touchline. They can't be carrying the water bottles onto the field.
I would also have thought, Brian, the very fact that, if you like, you've got Ince and you've got Southgate, who are spending most of the time as anchor midfield players, if you like, more or less, I would have thought Gascoigne's minders. I'd like to see Paul Gascoigne getting higher up the field.
Yes.
All right, he's picked up a few balls off Tony Adams deep in his own half. I'd like to see him playing just short of the front a little bit, where he's in a position to play quick passes through the defence.
Yes, that sort of position, another 15 yards on.
Yeah.
That's where you feel he's going to be
support the front.
most damage.
Because he's got, as I say, he's got two, if you like, minders.
McKinley making a good break down the left flank, stopped by Gary Neville. A throw to Scotland.
See, from this particular area now, we've got all our midfield back. I think we could afford there. I think we could be saying, Tony Adams would be saying to Paul Gascoigne, go on, push up the field a little bit, impose yourself. Because I feel pretty sure if he goes up the field, either McAllister or Collins will go back anyway. And it'll save him having to make those long 50, 60-yard runs just to stay in the game.
It's a goal kick.
I mean, the one thing he can't do, I know all the focus has been on him this week, but the one thing Paul can't do, he can't be chasing all over the field, particularly with the heat as it is today.
It's been an offside down there. It's David Seaman with the free kick. Well, that's another foul. Sheringham, just when Anderton looked as though he might get in behind. As a game, it hasn't really got the pulses racing yet, has it?
No, as I said, it's like a sparring match, isn't it? You get two fighters who are approaching each other, and they're feeling each other out.
And now the Scots are away. They've got 3 up. England have got 3 back. It's McKinley. He's looking out to this side of the field, and he's picked up McAllister. England have got a few white shirts back now. McCall playing a good ball in now for McKinney. And McKinney's cross coming off Stuart Pearce for the corner to Scotland.
Scott's best attack. Some nice incisive play. Beautiful ball by McCall. Beaten by volume of numbers of white shirts. You may say McKinney should have picked a better ball, but I would think when he looked in, he didn't see too much space in there.
McAllister with the corner. Calderwood's made a run. Hendry, of course, is going to be there. This is Tosh McKinley playing the ball now for Hendry. McKinley again. That's a good cross coming in, and Calderwood was launching himself at it. It's another corner. Just listen to the Scottish voices.
I think of the two sides at the moment, I think this is that lovely little ball in. Sheringham wins the header there. It stops Calderwood having a clean strike and goal. I think at the moment of the two sides, I would think Craig Brown would be happier than Terry.
I think you're right. Will Hendry be the target this time? Well, it's punched away, not very well. There's Calderwood, may get something on the turn here. England struggling to get it out of the box, and now the run of Gascoigne at least brings a bit of relief to the cheers of the English fans. Just for the moment on the edge of that English penalty area, though, there was a slight problem where you wondered if Calderwood could have turned a bit quicker. He might have got a shot, and Will the Seaman would have been unsighted.
It was all started by David Seaman, actually, wasn't it? Fumbling the corner. We're not getting a good hand on it.
Gary Neville for England.
See, the Scots are very happy here. They're very happy to let the ball. They want him to knock it back to Adams. Now they'd like this to go into a wide full-back position. And they'll press. If it goes into a wide full-back position, they'll press.
McManaman still with Adams.
Yeah, they're happy all day for Adams to have the ball.
Oh, and he's given it away. They did well there, the Scots. It's Spencer. Well, that was optimism gone mad.
I think he's got a corner off Adams's side of Adams's boot. But he got anxious there, Spencer. I think it's one he could have taken on a little bit. This is where he flaps at it a little bit, Seaman. And your first reaction is that Henry's going to have a swipe at goal. He's miscued it a little bit, but he's miscued it into a danger area.
Now, if Calderwood could have turned here...
Yeah, it's not an easy test, though. But, I mean, if that was a top striker, Brian, you would say he hasn't half done well, but there's always, defenders are always closing out from there.
Shearer with the backward header. The Dutch leading this group, of course, with 4 points after their victory over Switzerland and a draw against Scotland. England, Switzerland and Scotland all behind with 1 point, and England with 1 game remaining against Holland here on Tuesday, and the same night that the Scots play the Swiss up at Villa Park. Important header there from Hendry, and Calderwood, the ball just wouldn't come down quickly enough for him to get it away quite as comfortably as he wanted to, and he's conceded the corner, which Anderton will take. Forward comes Adams. Gascoigne on the edge of the box. So is Paul Ince. Sheringham's in there, Shearer's in there. Southgate and McManaman are in there as well. Plenty of white shirts up. Wants a good delivery now from this corner. Southgate goes for it, doesn't collect. Pearce tries to get in, he doesn't collect. It's an England throw. Not the best of corners, actually, was it?
No, I was a bit surprised at Tony Adams' position. He went and stood at the near post, a right-footed corner. OK, if he'd been an in-swinger, I could have understood that. But whether he's gone there with the view to try and pull Big Hendry with him, but Henry's just taken a central position now. Perhaps that's something they've learned, the Scottish team have learned from the Dutch match, when they got well exploited, didn't they, in corners?
England's corner. Pearce with it. Well, looks like he's getting back to try a long one towards Sheringham or Shearer. It's going to be Sheringham, but it didn't hit him either. Ince driving it. Goal kick.
Following well, Paul Ince, but he's always hitting that into the ground.
Well, that was a happy ricochet for the Scots. Falls to Tosh McKinley. Here's his cross now to little Spencer. Pearce has come out. Oh, he's tamed that beautifully. He's got McCall coming in, and it's not away yet. It's McAllister. There was a shot opening up there for McAllister, and a deflection that provides a corner for Scotland, and Scotland still having the edge on this game. Still 0-0.
Very, very much in control. They're getting a lot of space out on the left-hand side. As I say, Neville's getting sucked in to play alongside Adams. Anderton's not really defending on that side, and there's an awful lot of space for McKinley.
So here comes the corner again. Driven in this time. It'll be worth another one. Shearer and Southgate back. In fact, every man jack of the England side is now back in their own penalty area. Pearce and McManaman just going out to do a bit of marking, but they're all back in there now. And it was Anderton's header that brings a little bit of relief. McKimmie.
You know, Brian, you normally bring everybody back when you're not very sure about you can defend corners. Now, looking at the England side, really, you know, in terms of size, Tony Adams, yes. The next one is Sheringham, who's an attacking player, having to come back and defend.
Yes, I think the only other 6-footer is probably Darren Anderton. Yep. Nobody else a 6-footer.
And with all the will in the world, you wouldn't like to risk your life on Darren Anderton defending corners.
It's true.
All right, Stuart Pearce and Ince are both adequate. Shearer's adequate defending the near post. But I mean, we've lost people like Pallister who are totally dominant in the air.
Pallister, Mark Wright, people like that. Now Gascoigne in a better attacking position. Anderton's up there with him. Ince has gone and joined him too. But Shearer couldn't reach that ball, and
yeah,
it's a goal kick.
Poor ball from Paul Gascoigne. Those are the areas you're expecting him to make it happen. I mean, he wasn't under any real severe pressure. Should really have played a better ball for Shearer.
I think some people are surprised that Terry has chosen an unchanged side, albeit with a slightly different formation.
Oh, it's very much a different formation, and I'm not too sure whether it's working at the moment defensively.
Up goes Adams.
I'm a little bit
Southgate.
concerned. I expected to see Southgate play just in front of the three main defenders, if you like, and then slot in, but that doesn't appear to be the way. He appears to be playing as an orthodox midfield player.
Showing him to Shearer, but Shearer gives it away to McAllister. McAllister is not so generous. He finds a man on his own side, and here's Spencer now for Scotland. The Scots coming forward again, still having the better of this oldest international. But that's the ball that McCall has played down there that McManaman is quite happy to let go across for the goal kick. You were going to say.
That's the sort of thing Anderton's got to do as well. I mean, as soon as McCall had it, he looked to switch it out to the left because McKinley's been out there with so much space.
Pearce being chased and challenged by Spencer. Ince. Gascoigne to Ince. To Pearce. Shearer's lurking. Not a very convincing clearance by Hendry, but it falls for Tosh McKinley. Kept it in play and finds Dury. And now McAllister. McCall.
Get the feeling they're enjoying the game. I know everybody said there was more pressure on England because home nation, the criticism of the week and so forth, but you do get the feeling that the Scottish are happier with the game. And it doesn't seem such a hardship for them to play at the moment.
Spencer. Gascoigne. Brought down. Oh, that's a bit tough.
Didn't half rob Gascoigne of an advantageous position though, Brian. I mean, I think he's made a genuine lunge for the ball, and he has actually caught Gascoigne, but we'd have been in a very, very good position there if Gascoigne had got through.
Collins goes into the book. Collins, of course, who was the centre of all that controversy, the handball on the line that prevented the Dutch scoring, or at least getting a penalty up at Villa Park. Keeper's ball, Andy Gorham, born in England, played for Oldham Athletic, Andy, but now of course solidly a Rangers man. Adams jumping for this one. McCall picking it up well, challenged by Gascoigne, no foul. Anderton gets it back to Pearce, put him in a little bit of trouble just for a moment, but he got out of it well, and now Anderton on the left foot. Finds Sheringham. Gets it back nicely from Southgate. That was a good bit of play by Gareth Southgate too. Here's Shearer on this flank. Gascoigne. No, tried too much and it didn't come off. McAllister just playing a simple ball forward to Dury. Jury's got Spencer, who's made a good run. It's still with Dury. He's going a long way here now. But in the end, Adams kept pace with him at the expense of a corner.
Good, strong, positive run set up by McAllister, but then Dury really attacked the space.
Ball lost by Gascoigne. Way back. Just past the half-hour mark. Scotland's corner. Played into Spencer. McCall challenged by Gascoigne. McKinley. Collins. The flag was up for an offside against McKinley. Free kick to England.
There's a lot of talk before the game, wasn't there, whether Stuart McCall would go man-to-man and sit against Gaza. Well, at the moment, I think McCall is the key man of the match. I think he's running the game.
And also, as you're saying, Gascoigne is playing so deep, you don't really need anybody to sit on him.
See, he's on the ball here. Yeah. I think any member of the England side could do that. We want Gaza under the 50 yards up the park, just supporting Sheringham, supporting Shearer, and, if you like, conserving his energy up there.
That's an easy one for Calderwood. Gareth Southgate. It's not a bad cross either. And the header from Sheringham goes wide of the Scottish goal.
That's the strength of his steady, Sheringham. Can spring, can go vertically, which he's done on this time. Scored a goal against Switzerland, didn't he, in a game a few weeks ago? Not too dissimilar for that. But it's still a big distance to beat a goalie like Gorham from.
Ince going in and did very well to get there before McCall. Anderton, another cross, a deep one coming in towards Shearer. Gascoigne will try and pick it up, but the challenge of McKinley beat him. And so it's a Scottish throw. Out of play, England throw. McManaman. Well, he's been fairly anonymous too. Goal kick.
I was thinking there, Brian, you know, we've gone out, if you like, with a bold formation on paper, but it doesn't take place on paper, doesn't it? You have to play, and you look at McManaman. Just prior to that, Anderton had a good chance when he had 1v1 against Calderwood, turned back in field and laid it off. I would have expected players in those wide areas, when they get the last man 1v1, go at them, hit the grass behind them, go at them, try and turn these Scottish back players. They'll be very happy, Calderwood particularly, if England are content to play in front of them.
Spencer getting away from Southgate. McAllister to McCall. And now to McKimmie. Pearce hits it straight at McAllister. Trusty left boot let him down. Free kick to Scotland. Conceded by Darren Anderton on Gary McAllister, who will take this free kick. Calderwood's forward. Geary. Hendry's forward. He's a more obvious target. And they're calling Collins across to take it. Collins' corner towards Jury on the far side. McManaman. Shearer got it away, but was just caught there by McAllister. Free kick to England. And a Scottish player. And Seaman is obviously saying, whoever it is, oh my goodness, that is a really bad smack on the face there for Gordon Jury. And quite clearly, Seaman could see the extent of the damage and wanted the game stopped immediately. And the referee, I must say, got there quickly, and so did the first aid people, physios. And this is how it happened. A little smack with an elbow, possibly, as.
Yeah, it's got to be pointed out, an unintentional smack, because, I mean, Gareth Southgate's taken the ball cleanly in the air, and he's just a bit unfortunate, or he's not unfortunate, Jury's very unfortunate that he's caught him in there.
Well, I guess he might well have to go off.
He'll be unhappy, Terry. Got to be unhappy at the moment. Disjointed. We haven't really made anything happen. What we had a couple of speculative efforts, a fleeting header, you know, a header from the edge of the box from Sheringham.
I think the Italian referee is making it clear to the Scottish physio down there that if you want to continue the treatment, it's got to be taken off the field. He's shrugging his shoulders, saying it's not my ruling, it's the way UEFA and FIFA want it these days. So Jury will go off.
That would be a bad blow for Scotland if Gordon Jury has to finish the game, because he's looked up for it. He's driven his runs,
Yeah.
he's shown out well from the front.
And he's the one man up front who's got a bit of pace, isn't it?
Yes, and he'll
getting
run on.
some repairs
Yeah,
to his studs.
He's having a pit stop by the look of it, Gaz. But that would be major for them, because sometimes you can look at Jury and wonder whether he fancies it or not. Today, he looks as if he's very much up for it.
Quite agree. So that's Craig Brown with a decision to make. Pearce playing it forward against the 10 men of Scotland then. Up goes Calderwood. Beats Shearer in the air. England's throw. They'll just leave Spencer up front on his own until they can be sure what's happening to Jury. Anderton, there's his cross. Pulled down by McAllister. Spencer. Ince after him, and they win it well, England there.
I think he's got to try and make for the dead ball. A turn back, you see, gives them a chance to regroup.
Paul Ince again, having another little smack there with Spencer, and now with Gascoigne, and now with Gascoigne again, but that second touch was unfavourable. I think the whistle had gone in any case, hadn't it? Oh, and a yellow card for Spencer. Presumably, the little flick up he was having with Paul Ince, and Jury, heavily bandaged, is back on.
But it's the situation, isn't it? If you play with wide players, which we are doing, you fully expect them in the course of a game to hit the dead ball line once or twice.
Absolutely.
We haven't been there, and we haven't. We've got so far down, we've got almost level with the penalty box, turn back, pop a ball inside to one of the midfield players.
Jury.
There's got to be a time when they've got to be prepared to go it alone.
That's the pace we were talking about, hurling the crossover behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, not shaken. Good sign that for him. I must confess, by the look of him, the first pictures of him, you thought, well, that looks like the end of his tournament, never mind the end of the match.
Nearly 40 minutes of the first half gone. And certainly English fans will be wanting their side to do a lot better than they are.
I think what they'll be wanting, I mean, it's you said play with your brains and all that, but there's got to be something, some sort of well, not commitment, that's not the word, some drive. And as of yet, Brian, there's been no real pickup, has there?
Just because of the way Collins stuck at his man there. Ince then went for Jury. The referee from Italy, which is where Ince plays, claims that Ince went for the ball. But Gascoigne was getting himself into all sorts of trouble. He's in a totally unproductive area there. So the Scots get a free kick. Gary McAllister and John Collins are over it. Hendry is up from the back. Calderwood's in there. Jury with his head bandaged is in there too. Knocked in again by Spencer. A real up and under. It was Shearer who got back there. McAllister again. And now McCall. And now Jury. Still there, and it's McAllister's shot that bounces, not awkwardly, but it was watched eagle-eyed by Seaman, and Sheringham now can bring it away for England. If you think about it, Gorham has not had a shot to save yet. McManaman, and now Shearer. There's the cross towards Teddy Sheringham. Well, that's the first real scare in the Scottish defence.
I think that was a decent chance, that.
It was an excellent chance.
Ball round the back. It's in Shearer's possibly our best crosser of a ball, particularly when he works that right position, that right-hand position. A good ball in. He would have loved some sort of service like that himself, I'm sure. But at least we stuck a ball in behind the Scottish defence and said, go on, turn them round a little bit.
I would love to see McManaman and Anderton playing that sort of ball in, and Shearer and Sheringham in there contesting it, wouldn't you?
Very much so. Yeah.
Free kick to England. Tony Adams with it. About 4 minutes to go to half-time. Up to Shearer. Touched on by him. Tommy Boyd's gone with him. Southgate's waiting, England's throw. McManaman will take it. Neville. Good throw by Neville, and whistle had gone, a free kick to the Scots. Colin Hendry. Neville's header. Tosh McKinley. Being shadowed by McManaman. Goal kick. Sheringham, nice passing header, but Hendry read that situation well, got there before Shearer. England's throw. I'll say England's attack at the moment. Play overall, there's no venom in it. Well, let's see whether Gascoigne and Southgate can do something about it. Well stopped though by McCall. McAllister now up towards Spencer. McManaman, who's largely been anonymous in this first half, but he's found Southgate here. The Scots at the moment having very little trouble containing England.
Been a very easy game for them, hasn't it? The midfield, I mean, I make McCall the hub of the side, but yes. McAllister and Collins, and they must have been loving the game at the moment.
Good jump by McAllister. Ince. Sheringham. Gascoigne. Sheringham again. Played in for Ince. Just got a touch there before Hendry's challenge. And England get a throw.
You know, looking at it, you just wonder. We've seen Shearer go down the, if you like, the behind the left back area, using his power and pace into this area. I wonder how much better we'd be with Ferdinand in there, you know. And say, all right, stick a few in there, turn them round a little bit, use a secondary pace and power man in there. All right, it hasn't always, I understand it hasn't always worked when the two lads, Shearer and Ferdinand, have played together at international level, but this is like a club match.
Actually, coming here today, you thought Ferdinand might be playing, didn't you?
I thought he might be going in alongside Shearer. I mean, Shearer would always be my first name on the sheet.
Jury up with a header. Spencer finding Kimmy. There's a foul by Jury on Pearce. Free kick to England. Playing time added on at the end of the first 45 minutes. Southgate, Ince. McManaman. Bit of space now for Neville. Had Gascoigne inside him. He's found McManaman. Played in again for Anderton. McManaman couldn't control it. Here comes Scotland. Collins hitting it long. And for Jury, just too long. To Anderson. To Ince again. Offside against Gascoigne. It's clearly offside. No point in making gestures to the linesman. That's not going to change. The half-time whistle's gone in any case. To be fair, from England's point of view, not a lot to write home about. Few chances at either end and no goals.
Sorry, Brian, does that tell you a story? The Scottish lads have sprinted off the pitch. McAllister, Hendry and all them call him, come on lads, in here together. Our lads look bedraggled.
Well, let's see what happens in the second half, Ron. Scotland 0, England 0. Well, Stuart Pearce is off as we welcome you back to Wembley with Jamie Redknapp on as England's substitute. What do you see as that meaning, Ron?
I think it means Gareth Southgate will go and play alongside the left-hand side of the defence. Jamie Redknapp will go into a central midfield area. What it does mean, of course, is that McManaman and Anderson, who've swapped flanks at the kick-off, will be asked to work as wing-backs.
So at the start of the second half then, England attacking the goal to our right. Calderwood gets it away. And England certainly need to improve vastly on their very disappointing performance of the first half. The Scots in every respect looking much more comfortable with themselves and the way they were playing, with how they were playing as units and so on. And looking to have certainly the edge in the first half. Now let's see if England can change things around. Oh, there's a mistake there for a moment. McManaman. Gascoigne, Redknapp's first touch. Anderton. Redknapp again. Oh, and he got just a little excited. He tried to play a little ball inside for Gascoigne. It didn't quite come off for him, but now he's taken that bad pass from McCall. The cross comes in again. And Shearer goes down. They look towards the penalty, but the Italian referee says goal kick.
Yeah, that looked a little bit like clutching straws. He hurls it in. You see him, it's more Shearer thrusting himself onto the back of two dark-shirted defenders there.
Southgate has in fact taken that Stuart Pearce role.
I hope it does mean that Ince goes into a more central position. He played more, if you like, in the left-hand side of midfield, not wide, but in the old-fashioned inside left position, if you like, and didn't look entirely comfortable. I always think he's better when he's right or central.
Free kick for Scotland. Terry Venables, being the manager, retires from that position at the end of this championship. And certainly needs something to make it a happy retirement. McAllister. Ince concedes the corner. McAllister will take it. Hendry dangerously poised on the edge of the 6-yard area, looking for the little flick on. Gascoigne hooks it away. Just McKimmie here, getting support from Calderwood. Lets the ball run to Stuart McCall. Flicks it wide again this time. Had a good strong challenge that time. Redknapp was at the heart of that one. McManaman. Obviously been told by Venables, get down that flank and start taking a few people on. There was a foul on McManaman before that ball went wavering into touch, and so it's a free kick for England. Just shown a little more venom early on in this second half, but not with that sort of shock from Paul Ince. Frustration he feels with himself. And he really isn't on top of his game yet. Billy McKinley. Redknapp on to taking a strong midfield position as Gorham takes that goal kick. Met by Southgate. Knocked forward again to Shearer. And here's Gascoigne in a much more advanced position. And was held back by Henry. A free kick to England, right on the edge of that Scottish penalty area. Gascoigne himself might fancy it. Pearce, of course, has been substituted. Gascoigne might just try a little dipper here.
Well, he got Redknapp and Shearer, but I think it would be big odds, wouldn't it, on Gascoigne?
Shearer's in there, Redknapp's in there.
It's in an excellent position, you know, Brian, as we've been saying. We haven't seen a good free kick in the tournament.
Well, England need one now. It's going to be Gascoigne. And it's gone over the top. Goal kick to Scotland. But there at least we saw Gascoigne in a much more advanced position. You've been disappointed with England so far.
Yes, very, very. They looked disjointed first half. It didn't look as if they were on the front foot at all. Everybody looked hesitant, and I'd like to see an injection of pace up front.
Well, that's either Ferdinand or Fowler, presumably.
Yes. My own personal preference today would be for Big Les Ferdinand.
Here's Adams for England. Southgate. The ball hit long towards Sheringham. Sheringham might get in behind them, and it just wanted a touch as Gorham came out. Gorham, in the meantime, hitting it long towards Jury, but Adams...
Very unlucky there. Very unlucky there, Teddy Sheringham. But Calderwood knows he's a clubmate of Teddy Sheringham's, but very seldom is Teddy going to outrun him. I don't think you'd fancy the same situation as if Ferdinand was against him.
Look at McManaman. There's a good run. My goodness, that shot wasn't far off target either. That's the best we've seen of McManaman in this tournament.
That's the best we've seen of England today. That makes things happen. Things like this can change games.
The English are finding their voices in the Wembley crowd too.
Yeah, well, they've wanted to. They've waited. He's given them something to it. Good driving run. Fine left-footed shot. Not that far away. We produced more in the last 2.5 minutes, if you like, than we've produced all match.
Jury combining well with Spencer. The flag is up for an offside. England's free kick. Craig Brown, Scottish coach, had his career interrupted by a knee injury. They went into schoolmastering before he became the Scottish coach in '93. Here's McManaman again. And a safe catch this time from Doyle, bowled over by Teddy Sheringham. Free kick given. Calderwood. It's a bit more like an England-Scotland game in this second half. Southgate getting it back. Gary Neville. McManaman. Knocking it forward to Shearer. McManaman wanting it back there. It's an encouraging sign. But instead it goes to Gary Neville. Redknapp finds Ince. Finds Anderton. Ooh, there was a lot of space on the far side. But McManaman seems the man of the moment here now. Finds Neville with it. There's the cross coming in. Score for Shearer! 1-0! A brilliant goal as well. Superbly worked after such a disappointing first half. They really got amongst them, and it was a super England move, and it was a great cross from Neville. And there's Shearer. That's 1-0.
Excellent goal, wasn't it? Excellent build-up. Good brave run from McManaman to start with. Ladies pass off at the right time. Beautiful cross from Neville. And we said in the first half, Shearer would love 1 or 2 crosses like that, because that's what he'll do to them. I mean, we've seen more since the kick-off. How long we've been playing? 8 minutes. We've seen more since half-time. So whatever was said at half-time certainly seems to have lifted England.
Now England just need to get a tackle or two to calm themselves, compose themselves, and strike out from this excellent position now. McAllister, Redknapp, holding it up, showed a lot of composure there, finds McManaman, who had a real part to play in that England goal. This is much more like it as Neville takes it up, and McManaman's gone sprinting down the right-hand side for him. Neville's going, crossing in there, and Darren Anderton came in on the far side.
The other thing, of course, Southgate going into the defence means that Neville can play a more orthodox position. He can pull out on his right-hand side more. All of a sudden, we're going two against their left side of the defence.
Here's Spencer. And now McKinley. But they lose out again as McManaman finds Sheringham. Great for Shearer. So long without a goal. 12 games was it without a goal. Nearly 2 years without an England goal. Until last week against Switzerland. And now he's done it again today.
I don't think there's ever any doubt, Brian. He gets the chances. He'll score.
Boyd gets it back. Gorham.
I mean, it's a safe bet. Was it Sheringham was coming in? It looked as if Sheringham had a chance. And in all fairness, Shearer virtually knocked him out the way to score.
That's right. Collins. Calderwood. Look at Shearer getting in there. He's really up for it.
But, you know, I'm a believer in certain things, certain little incidents set games off, you know. And I believe the run of McManaman just before. Remember when he cut in, drove, whacked the left-footed shot over the top. I think that set England up. He got the fans lifted again.
That's right.
And now you hear what the response you're getting from the fans. They've been quiet. That gave them the little lift they wanted. And it seemed to give England another gear. Got that adrenaline going.
Redknapp's done well. Redknapp's done well since he came on. And so is McManaman in this second half. And here he goes again. Well, he shimmied past Collins there. And he's found Sheringham with a ball here. Anderton, left foot, just over.
Totally different side.
It's a total transformation.
Totally different side. I mean, you do say what a difference a goal makes. You see them, if they could nick another one while they're having a good spell like this, they could nick another one, the floodgates could completely open. Because all of a sudden the Scottish have got the reverse thing. What's hit us? They've gone in at half-time, buoyant, right up for it, fancying the chances, and all of a sudden they've had the wind knocked straight out the sails.
Free kick to England.
It's interesting you were saying about Jamie Redknapp, you know, and it may very well be little things, little chemistry between players. I mean, he's a mate of McManaman's, they play together, he's fed him with the ball once or twice, and whether that's given him his little bit of lift, you don't know. That's a super cross from Neville, a super. And he's going in, to be fair.
Great header.
We had two chances on the ball.
Oh, Hendrick. Did he know that Sheringham was just behind him? Up goes Jury. Scots have found goals hard to come by these last few games. They need one now, but it's Gascoigne trying to orchestrate things, and McManaman is the man of the moment. As I said just before half-time, he was totally anonymous in that first 45 minutes. Well, Sheringham's got a free kick against McCall.
I think the last thing we want to do as well is drop our tempo.
Yes. Southgate. It's a Scottish throw. Calderwood being hustled by Shearer. Victory gives England such a great chance of reaching the quarter-finals. Puts them on 4 points, level with Holland. It's a bit premature to be talking about that. Still just that one goal separating the two sides. Shearer's goal as Gascoigne now takes his free kick. Tony Adams is up for this one in a good position too. And Sheringham! Well, they're a different prospect.
That's a great save, but a sitter missed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good free kick, clever free kick. Sheringham got himself completely unmarked around the back.
But the Scots are combining well as they come forward now with Gordon Jury. Gary McAllister. Gascoigne just sticks out the boots. Tommy Boyd retrieves for Scotland. Faced by Jamie Redknapp. Spencer. McAllister. McCall. Collins. McCall again. Hustled by Ince. Much more purpose about England in this second half. In the way they're just hustling as well. They're looking much more up for it now. Gascoigne is chipping the ball away from McAllister. The back heel for Anderton. McManaman. Neville. Tempo's dropped just a little at the moment. Redknapp trying to quicken it up again. Finds Shearer. No foul. There's McCall, busy as ever.
I think you're right. You don't write these off. You don't write the Scots off yet. If we drop our tempo and let them have a feel of the game again. They showed in the first half. The only thing you don't really see is them scoring a goal, do you?
That's right. McManaman. Adams. Sheringham's never going to get to that one. And Gary Neville did the right thing exactly. Tempo's definitely dropped as far as England are concerned. Just think how they allowed the Swiss to get back into that game last week. They mustn't allow the Scots if they want. Oh, look at McAllister. But Neville's gone with him and done well.
Given it back pass.
Given the back pass, it's going to be an indirect free kick, yeah.
And rightly so, Brian. I think
somebody wasn't thinking there.
They've seen him and should have just got his right foot down that and give it 50 yards.
Yeah. And now this is going to be interesting. A free kick to the Scots, an indirect free kick. Now, how are they going to play this? They're going to play it wide to somebody. Oh, they're not. They've lifted it. And Sheringham booted it away, but the referee says no, the whistle hadn't gone. Ince arguing. Shearer not happy with the decision.
I think whatever happens, they're going to give the free kick again, so those lads might as well come out.
You saw the referee pointing to the whistle. He hadn't blown the whistle, so that's the reason for that. So it's not a reprieve. It is for the Scots, but not for England. Scots get another chance. McAllister and McCall now over this one. Will they try the same thing again, or will they just drive one in and hope for a ricochet?
I'd like to see somebody defending the far post, Brian. We're leaving the second post very
empty. There. Adams is watching him at the moment.
I'd like to see somebody on the line here. McAllister can almost spin this one if he gets a little touch.
Well, he's chipped it towards Hendry, knocked it back again, knocked it up in again, and the ball has just gone over the top for a corner. The Scots worked that well, actually.
Yeah, he needed a running ball, really, Henry, didn't he? He was going back on it.
Kenny with the corner. Oh, just a little too high for McAllister, who'd made a good run in there. And in the end, Sheringham half gets it away, but only as far as Tommy Boyd. A little bit of breathing space for England, but not much more. Foul by Gascoigne, who claims he got the ball, but the free kick goes to the Scots. Pressure still on England.
And you always feel Scotland's not only chance, but best chance comes from an organised thing, a set play, a free kick or a corner. It's close on goal, and McAllister shot. If it's a distance, Calderwood or Hendry getting the head on the end of something.
Calderwood's Hendry particularly is in a very good, strong position. Calderwood's towards the near post. In the end, well, it was Gareth Southgate. That was a clever header. He stooped and let it come off the back of his head.
He's looked far happier since he's gone into that position alongside
Sure
Tony
has.
Adams. I mean, understandably so. He's played all season as a second central defender, or a third central defender, the way they play.
Boyd to McCall. And now to Hendry. Calderwood's back alongside him. Back he goes to Andy Gorham. Spencer. Here's Ince. And now Adams. McManaman, no, given away. The Scots were quick to pounce on that as well. Tosh McKinley. Collins. He's beaten Ince there. There's the cross, and it's a good one. Oh, miraculous save by David Seaman from Gordon Jury. That was a terrific header. You were saying goal as it went across, and it looked as though it was. But that was a wonderful save by Seaman. And he might have some more to do. They get a free kick, Scotland, and England have allowed the advantage to slip Scotland's way.
Well, it was a lovely cross of Collins. He dug it out beautifully, and it's a great pity for Scotland that Jury wasn't on the run more. If he'd been on the run more, I think he'd have got more power into it and beaten Seaman. Nevertheless, a great save.
More danger for England here, though. Collins with this free kick. Floated a beauty in again. Hendry tried to get up there. He climbed all over Adams. Goal kick. But it was wonderful work by Collins, and he left Ince for dead there. That was the point.
Brilliant cross, dug it out.
And this is a great save.
Yeah, it's
a really great save.
Fabulous save. Think what England
making a
has done.
substitution. Sorry, Ali McCoy's coming on.
Well, his career's been sort of a fairy tale one, hasn't it? Spencer coming off. His career's been a fairy tale one. And is this another chapter in Ali's book?
Well, Super Ali, 33 years old, 51 caps, 18 goals, but he says, I would love nothing more to finish my major career with Scotland with a goal against England. And he's one of these sort of fellas, you know, Ron, isn't it? Things happen to him, you know.
Yes, that's just what would worry you if you're on the other bench. We're ragged again. We've gone ragged.
We have.
Scots have got spirited. We've gone ragged, and we're giving away far too many free kicks and letting them build up possession at us.
It's the Scots who are looking the more purposeful again now.
That's understandable, by the way. I mean, we've taken the lead. They've got nothing to lose now, the Scots. They've got to throw everything at us.
Collins. Back again towards McAllister. By Calderwood, who was up there. Not sure, was the referee giving Ince a yellow card there?
I have to say, Brown, I didn't see it. Wasn't apparent. Seemingly so, yep.
Yep, it was.
Good spurt.
Back to Seaman. Hit long by him towards Shearer. It's a long time since the ball's been in that half of the field, it seems, and it'll be soon knocked back into England's half again as the Scots get a free kick.
Yeah, I think we're dropping it in. We're dropping it in short of English players now. I think what we really want, and that's where I feel Ferdinand would be a big advantage. Play a few over the top of Scotland, turn them back, make them face their own goal for a while.
Adams. England are falling into their old first half habits again.
Yeah, well, they're boxing us in, Brian. The Scottish team are boxing us in, and we're not clearing the ball far enough.
McCall's made a good, enterprising run. Redknapp getting it back towards McManaman. And England are thriving with this one-goal lead simply on the basis of one spell of about 6 or 7 minutes when they really looked the business. Other than that, they've been very disappointing. They're still 1-0 up, though. Up to Shearer, but beaten comprehensively in the air that time by his teammate at Blackburn, Hendry. And that's a yellow card for Hendry for the foul on Ince.
Have to be honest, in the climate of what exists with referees, knowing the way Hendry plays, I'm surprised is that his first in the tournament.
That's right.
I'm surprised because he does say go, and Ince is feeling the effects of that poor Ince.
McManaman finding Neville. Gascoigne. Now he's away. Don't know that Anderton will get to that. The flag is up in any case. Thank you, Ron. McCall. Collins. What a good left foot he's got.
That's a wand, isn't it?
McCoist. McAllister. For Jury. McCoist wanted a bit of that, and he's lurking in the middle now. He's got a nice bit of space for himself in there, but a good catch by Seaman. Shearer's header, but nobody up there supporting him. Dury. Shot charged down by Southgate. McAllister. Jury again on the far side. He's done well. It's a goal kick for England.
He's done very well all game as Gordon Jury. He's been fast, he's been positive, he's caused the England defence, particularly in the first half, a dance, and he's been brave enough to come back from what looked a very severe head injury. And now he's with his sparring partner from his club, and they've pulled enough miracles out this season, or they've certainly got a goals tally between them, and the country could do with one now.
Well, there's a little under 20 minutes left for Scotland to pull this game round. England leading by Alan Shearer's goal in the second half.
So you just wonder as well with England, you know, whether it creeps into the mind a bit what happened in the first game, leading on top of the game, then all of a sudden the opposition crept back in and snatched it from them.
Look at McCoist. And quite right, referee. McCoist thought it was a penalty, but there's no doubt about it. He fell to ground way after that challenge by Gary Neville, but it's a warning for England again.
It's a great threaded through ball as well, isn't it?
See, referee was spot on. Sheringham. Can Sheringham make something here? No. Gorham got there first.
But do you not feel that second little bit of pace up front would be very, very handy for England?
Look at Shearer battling away there. He's a tough nut, he really is. And Tommy Boyd wins the free kick. McAllister seeking to wave a magic wand from deep there, finding McCoist. McCoist busily finds Collins. McCoist again, and now McCall. Inside for McCoist, a touch by him. McManaman spotted that. And Southgate gets it away.
That's the ball I think England have got to employ more.
Oh, Shearer was pretty late on Hendry there, it seemed to me. One Blackburn teammate on another. It was a fairly clumsy challenge. It's a yellow card for Alan Shearer.
Oh, there'll be some dressing room banter about that, won't there, between them? Both said go, and like you say, he's Hendry got there first, but Shearer was making sure that he didn't get there with any time to spare.
Got there first with a good deal to spare, what's more.
I'll tell you what, next pre-season, first five-a-side, he'll not forget that. If I was Alan Shearer in a five-a-side and I was first pick, I'd pick Hendry on my own side. I wouldn't have him against me, because he'll have that in marked up.
Right, let's see how we go now. Just a fraction over a quarter of an hour left. Back it goes to Andy Goran. Well, he got to within 10 minutes of the finish last week with England still leading, and the Swiss got back with the penalty.
And teams with the pressure on them get frightened of winning, don't they? You know, that little bit, because the fear of losing comes into it so much.
Call. I tell you, Adams has been magnificent at the back again, hasn't he?
He has, actually. In fact, you wondered, you know, a hot day like this, he's missed a lot of the season.
Right.
He was playing as a solo central defender in the first half.
Jamie
Just wonder
Redknapp.
whether his fitness would be affected.
Well, England fans are looking for another spell from them. They're looking for something now from McManaman. Does well there. Finds Redknapp. Oh, two pals banged into each other there. But Gascoigne teases the ball up there for Neville. It'll go behind for the goal kick, will it? No, it's kept in play. Up to Jury. Calderwood, who kept it in. Oh, Gascoigne. Still Gascoigne. Oh. He and Anderton weren't quite thinking alike, but just for a moment it looked as though Gascoigne might produce something.
He'll be disappointed, I think, Paul Gascoigne, with his performance today. He's worked very hard, but he hasn't quite made enough happen, has he? This lad won't be disappointed. What a ping that is.
Alistair, what a lovely ball there for McCall. McCoist is in the middle. Jury's in there too. Penalty given. Penalty for Scotland, conceded by Adams on Jury. Well, it's a replica of last week. Straight to the spot. McCall plays it in.
Good early ball in.
Well, he played the ball there. That looked a bit on the tough side.
Oh, yeah, he's bought his there. Jury's bought it there.
That was a tough one.
All started from this fella's fabulous pass, though.
Now, let's see whether McAllister's nerve will hold. A brilliant save! McAllister holds his head. And Scotland denied an equalising goal. Justice probably done. It certainly didn't look a penalty to me. But David Seaman makes a masterly save. And England's free kick. Look at it again. Hit his left elbow. Yeah. Jamie Redknapp punches the air. It was good reaction by Seaman. Not a particularly good penalty by McAllister, let it be said. And a huge, huge reprieve for England. 1-0 still. Oh, here's Gascoigne. Gascoigne, he can finish it here! Paul Gascoigne! 2-0! Would you believe it? From one end of the field to the other, the crowd are in raptures. The England players too. When it could so easily a minute ago have been 1-1. Seaman's save kept England ahead, and now Gascoigne has increased it to 2-0. And England are marching towards the quarter-finals. A long ball, and this is a delightful touch here. And then he bangs it in on the half volley. And it's a super goal for England, and it's 2-0.
That's the important touch, isn't it? Well, no, this is the important touch. I mean, he flips it over Hendry's head brilliantly, and he's still got plenty to do, although he's looking 1v1 at the keeper.
Ince is going off, and Steve Stone is coming on.
That's what drives you mad about the game,
doesn't it amaze you?
If you were Craig Brown, sat there now, 30 seconds earlier, you're thinking, we're still in the tournament.
We're 1-1. Yeah.
Now you're going back across the border, bar in America.
Oh. Now, it's a huge job for Scotland, with a little over 10 minutes left. McCall with a cross. They need a goal quickly to give themselves time to engineer a second one. And England, at last, have a cushion thanks to that goal by Gascoigne. 2-0 up now. When you think of what he's taken, Gascoigne, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, to be fair, a lot of it self-inflicted, but there's your answer.
I'll tell you how daft this game is. Half the nation are buying a drink now.
That's Shearer.
The English half, that is.
That's right. Gascoigne. Oh, suddenly Darren Anderton. Adams, still my man of the match for all the things that have gone on around him. McCall. McKimmie up towards Ali McCoist. Touched by him for Jury. And again he can get it away. And again it's this man Gascoigne. Adams. The England player's gone down.
It's Redknapp, I think. I think he fell awkwardly. He was holding his head, but he looked as if he fell awkwardly, actually. Went up for the header, he misjudged in midfield.
Substitution being made. They're taking off Tosh McKinley. And Craig Burley coming on. And so Redknapp. Yeah, he fell awkwardly on his left. Yes, he fell awkwardly on his left knee by the look of it. So England will get another substitution on. It's Collins now for Scotland. But now Shearer.
That's where the game's funny, isn't it? Or makes you look a mug. Scotland have probably had more of this game than they had against Holland when they were proclaimed heroes.
Yeah, you have to have a certain sympathy for them, because apart from that terrific spell that England put on just after half-time, and then Gascoigne's goal, they have looked more together as a team.
You know, you got the feeling in that spell that Collins, McAllister and McCall were starting to boss the game again.
Towards Jury, out comes Seaman. Redknapp wants to come back on. Anderton, Sheringham, Anderton, Stone. Stone, who's on for Ince, remember, McManaman. Steve Stone. And England now with men over, it seems. McManaman finding Shearer. Anderton's made a little run for him, and it comes off Hendry, and it goes behind for the corner.
3 or 4 players up in support of Alan Shearer there. But Alan Shearer cutting in off the left side on his right foot. A goal in the bag, another goal ahead. He's going to go himself.
I mean, this Gascoigne is amazing, isn't it? I mean, we talked about McCoist making things happen for him, but I suppose if anybody was going to score at some point today, it was going to be Paul Gascoigne. In the meantime, England have brought Sol Campbell on. And it's easy for Gorham. And Redknapp still in trouble over the other side. They're being carried away now.
I think the goal from Gascoigne illustrates what we were on about in the first half. How much we wanted him to operate so much further upfield.
Absolutely. The England fans on that side of the field as Redknapp's being carried away, giving him a tremendous round of applause. There's no doubt about it. Redknapp did make a difference when he came on in that second half. He gelled very quickly with McManaman and helped produce that so important opening goal. Campbell loses out there. Adams finds Neville. And England with renewed spirits with a victory over the old enemy. You can imagine what that'll do for their spirits when they come to face Holland here on Tuesday.
You also wonder what a big moment international-wise that missed penalty may be.
Absolutely.
I mean, I actually thought if he'd have scored McAllister from the penalty, I'd have had a shade of odds that they'd gone on to win the game, Scotland.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They were in the ascendancy, they were the boss team, and then all of a sudden, psychologically, it would have gone for them.
Ian Jess coming on in place of Gordon Dury, your man at Coventry City.
Well, by the look of it, Ian will have to play as an out-and-out front player. He's happier. He's happier when he plays just in the position just behind the front, but this is a great experience for him.
What relief for Terry Venables on the left there with Brian Robson alongside him. Because he really, and for Craig Brown, it's tough for him with his side having played so well for so long.
Tell you what I do think, talking to Craig Brown, I think he's got a very, very, not ordinary side, but not the best and most talented side you've ever seen. And I think he's got them to give a very, very commendable performance in the championships, not just today. I think getting them there was a great achievement, particularly if you can't score. And they have a hell of a problem scoring goals.
Campbell, beaten there by McAllister, but unfairly so. Here come England again. Sheringham. Anderton dancing away down the left-hand side. Stone finding McManaman. Neville. Sheringham. Just about 3 minutes of the game to go now.
Tell you what, Brian, I mean, it's the first time this game's been played for, what, 6, 7 years? This one half sort of go round in dressing rooms all over the country next season, you know. I mean, I remember watching the movie Braveheart. We were watching it on the coach one day going somewhere, and we've got like Strachan, Telfer and Jess, and it was all this sort of winning. The English troops were giving them a good hiding and that. And, you know, it was like, oh, it's not the first time it's happened, and we give you good hidings before in the past and all that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, so the 2-0 win for England today will reverberate where English and Scottish footballers meet in the dressing rooms for the next year or so, that's for sure. Here's Collins. It's not over yet. Boyd. Collins. Collins again.
Can you imagine the other scenario, Brian? Scotland will be desperate for England to beat Holland. When has that ever happened? They'll be desperate for England to win, won't they? In the
well, as long as the Scots can beat the Swiss the same night.
Yeah. But I mean, that's their, if you like, their throw of the dice.
A few disappointed Scottish faces there, with every reason. Shearer chasing, but won't get to it. Adams bypassing Stone, though. Last minute of the game. Neville does well. They've looked more secure in the second half, haven't they, England?
Yes, as I say, I think Southgate going back in onside, Adams has made a difference to the shape and the goal.
McCoist looking to turn his man. Stone, no, couldn't get onto it. Kimmy. Collins, don't let him get onto that left foot. A little chip through, breasted down by Tony Adams. Shearer knocking it on. Time added on at the end of 90 minutes. Gorham hit long. Here's McManaman again, taking it from Stone.
He's the man for me that's won the game for them.
McManaman.
The little spell he had, he hasn't been the best player. You're right about Adams. Adams has been a colossus. But I think the little spell McManaman had immediately after half-time got them into pole position. I feel if Scotland had had a player of that type, a wide player that could run at people, they wouldn't have caused England some problems.
Boyd running straight into Adams.
It's not something you'd recommend on a hot sunny afternoon, is it?
Good challenge by Neville, free kick for England. It's all over, and England have taken a huge step towards the quarter-finals of this European Championship, thanks to that penalty saved by David Seaman. A very relieved Terry Venables. He was a worried man at half-time, and after Shearer had put England ahead, that terrific goal by Paul Gascoigne rounded everything off. England 2, Scotland 0 is the final score.
Tony, what an occasion, and the result perfect in the end.
That's right, yeah. Fabulous occasion, fabulous day for England. And, you know, we're going forward now to the next game.
David, what an afternoon.
Brilliant, you know, it's been a great day. It was a great game for us, great occasion, you know, we've got the right result.
In the end, I suppose, the performance almost did live up to the occasion, but the first half was a struggle.
Yeah, the first half was a struggle, but it's like a derby game. You don't get many open games in derby games. And, you know, we carried on in the second half, made a tactical change at half-time, and everything worked out fine.
We've come in at half-time, quite comfortable. You know, Andy's not had a lot to do. Having said that, Seaman's not had a lot to do neither. And we're quite confident at half-time, 0-0. Played reasonably well. You know, stopped them from playing really and creating anything. In second half, they've just come out of the traps. First 20 minutes, McManaman, you know, he's got the ball, started playing just in a hole, picked the ball up, turning it. And once he starts turning it, players and running at him, I think he's with the difference for 20-25 minutes. He ripped us to bits. And then, you know, Andy makes a great save from Shering, but then the other side, you know, Seaman claws one from Gordon Jurdick, which is in the top postage stamp, and how we got to that I'll never know. But we claws way back and get the penalty, and if that goes in, you know, it's a different result and different game.
I just felt the penalty decision was a bit harsh again, but I just managed to save it. You know, Gary ran up and the ball, I noticed the ball was moving as he struck it, which surprised me a little bit, but I just managed to get my elbow on it and it flew over, I think.
Well, as you can imagine, Gary was very distraught in there, but to be fair to Gary, Gary's been our quality player over the last 2 years and whatever, so he'll pick his cell up, I'm sure, and he'll look forward to Tuesday. He's disappointed as we all are, but there's no way we can put the blame on Gary McAllister, no chance.
Well, I was coming on as a substitute, I was just waiting to go on. I was waiting to go on before the penalty as well, so it was taking a while to get on. And all of a sudden I seen Paul lob it over Hendry, I think it was, went around the other side, and I thought he might take it on a bit, but then he's just volleyed, he just smashed it in. It was a great goal.
I'm absolutely delighted for him. You know, he's a good friend of mine, and he's been under a lot of pressure, even though he probably doesn't show it. He's been under a lot of pressure. and he's handled it well. You know, people think him as a joker, but came Friday night, he was tucked up in his bed, you know, prepared for today's game, and he's answered a few people wrong tonight, and I'm really pleased about that.
In any walk of life, anyone who gets stick and slaughtered in the media like, you know, Paul has done, you always like people to come back and do well. Obviously not today. I wish he had a nightmare and not scored, but hopefully maybe if, like I say, if England go on, he can show everybody what a great player he is. But today, no, I'd rather him being quiet. But hopefully he'll have a great game against the Dutch and maybe score a couple of goals.
There's no one despondent down there. We're very disappointed. We're upset for the fans who have come down here with great enthusiasm, and we're desperate to give a very good swashbuckling performance on Tuesday.
We feel very, very confident now. You know, hopefully we're at the stage now where we can qualify for the quarter-finals. We just want the fans to keep getting behind us, and hopefully we can keep producing the goods.
Good goal from Alan Shearer. A penalty again. I thought it wasn't going to be our competition 2 weeks on the trot, but fortunately we escaped that with a great save, and a magnificent piece of skill from Gascoigne was topped it all, and then Teddy Sheringham had another excellent chance. So I think that on chances and the game itself that we well deserved it.
I always felt that this game was going to be decided in the latter periods of the game, with the weather as it's been, and let's be fair, the first 20 minutes of the second half England were magnificent, and the 2 goals, you won't see 2 better goals in the whole of the tournament at the moment, because Neville's cross was a cross made in heaven for Shearer, and then Paul Gascoigne, who didn't have a particularly good first half, but second half showed his character and really turned the game round with a magical goal, it's got to be said, and very pleased for the lad, because there was a lot of unjustified criticism gone on Paul's shoulders, and that wasn't fair. So he's answered them in the right way, and that's on the pitch.
Oh, brilliant. It's a marvellous goal. I was actually behind the goal, and he took it very nicely. Got him no chance. So I thought Gascoigne was Scottish now. He should have done that. I know, he's betrayed us now. We still love him. I'm going second tomorrow.
For the first 20 minutes, Paul Ince was the one who was really doing everything energy sapping wise, and Paul, correctly so, you know, held it down. He knew it was going to be a 90 minutes match out there for today, and I think he showed a lot of maturity there today. But a good England performance, and looking forward to the Dutch game now.